Hello, folks. Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building here with my guy, Mr. Marcus J. Davis of Grindhouse Basketball. He's all about development, coaching, and all that. His travels go everywhere from the UP down to the Metro Detroit area. I've had the pleasure of working with him on several occasions. He has great camps and has a virtual camp coming up too. But Marcus, I just want to touch base with you and others of like mind who are out here during this SPS mental health moment to really get some feedback on what you think, some things that people can be working on. You know, a lot of people are being very health conscious right now and trying to do the best they can. Gyms are closed. I can't get to my Planet Fitness right now, so I got to make it happen right here. But just want to welcome you during this time and just get some good feedback from you. How you doing?
I'm great. How about yourself? Appreciate you having me.
Yep. So I know as of late, you have the virtual basketball clinic going on, and you've also done some work with Romulus High School, both football and basketball coaching, and they get to take advantage of your strength and conditioning background too. So why don't you just give us a little background on yourself and tell us what you got going on?
Right. So my name is Marcus Davis. I'm from Romulus, Michigan. I was previously, when me and Lindsay actually met, I was a Division II basketball coach at the time up in the UP, and we met at the Bates Fundamental Camp.
That's right.
So what I've been doing, I run a company called Grindhouse Basketball Skill Development. I've been running it for 6 years now. Started it while I was in college, but while everything has been going on, I kind of had to make a pivot. So I noticed that there was a need for kids to be active because I worked in the schools when I moved back down here. So I was a substitute teacher. So I was in the schools and I was coaching. But then once all of that died out, I was like, my kids need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I had parents contacting me. It was like, well, we don't want to go to the gym and train. So I was like, okay. I know this platform called Zoom. Everybody's using Zoom. So
They used up on Zoom back in the day, huh?
yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna just use my knowledge and I'm gonna give it away. So I reached out to a few people. People were reaching out to me. So and we made it happen. So I've got about 30 kids in my camp right now, and we work out 3 days a week for an hour. And I give them homework. I give them life skills, and I just kind of like you talk about keeping them mentally strong during this time. How adversity always is going to come about. So we have a lot of discussions and things like that, and we get some good work in.
Yeah, you know, everyone is now, Zoom is a part of our life. I mean, you're talking about investing in stock, you got Apple, then you got Zoom. You know, talk about the challenge or the unique part of the virtual workout. It's one thing to have a virtual meeting, to talk, to connect, but then the other part about being able to stay motivated and get out there and do that work. What's that like?
Oh, well, for me, it's actually pretty easy. But for the kids, I actually do the workouts with the kids.
Okay.
So and that's always been a part of my philosophy is you can't really tell the kids don't actually listen to what you say, they watch what you do. So I've always been a health conscious person, and I've always loved to work out even since my college days. So I just kind of kept that going, and I would always work out with my kids. So and it just kind of gravitated over, and it was a seamless transition, really.
Wow, that's good. So what advice can you give for individuals who may not even be young people? Because it seems that young people can sometimes dive into something without any issue because they don't have any fear. They're like, okay, no problem, coach, I'll do it. What about individuals who are a little bit older, our age and beyond, who may have been used to having a trainer at the gym, but they don't have access to it, but they're trying to look at how they can keep their workout going in this new time that we're in?
Mm-hmm. So what I would say to that is everybody starts somewhere. So there was a point when my wife had my daughter, I gained 50 pounds. I wasn't on the college basketball workouts every single day. I wasn't working out 4 times a day, having practice for 4 hours. So I was still eating as a college basketball player, but I wasn't working out.
Right.
At the level of
You
a
had,
college.
that meal card going back and forth, but you weren't working out.
Yeah. So during that time, I really became conscious of my health because I could joints were hurting. I was 287 pounds.
Wow.
It was kind of hard to breathe, but you have to start somewhere. So I would recommend if you like to walk or run, not download Nike Run Club. That's
Okay.
a great app. It'll track your miles and
Nike
it'll give
Run
you,
Club.
yep, Nike Run Club. It's a free app.
Mm-hmm.
Download that. And I started jogging half a mile. I would say it was in 2018 I started. It was just
Mm-hmm.
a half a mile. Just walk, run, half a mile. But now, just trying to do that a few times a week, I've gotten up to the point where I run every day, and I try to get between 2.5 to 5 miles in daily. But it was that part where I decided to start is where it's really key. And I understand it's tough, but if it was easy, everybody would do it.
True, true. So it's about having some motivation and being okay. I think one of the challenges that happens, you have benefits, some great benefits to social media, even this platform, being able to communicate and share. But I think so many times people get caught up with what someone else is doing, someone else who started their journey, and then they
Right.
try to catch up with you, but you've been, committed for a while. What do you say to that?
hmm Again, you have to, every day you have to focus on making sure you're getting 1% better. You
1%.
can't, it becomes discouraging when you look at somebody like myself who runs 5 miles in with an 8 minute pace, and you're doing it at 14. But I didn't start there. And many times you don't get to see where people started. So we don't see where a lot of these millionaires and so-called successful people start, but we see where they are now. So you can't focus on where people are now because you don't know the hell they had to go through to get to where they are.
To that point, I would argue, yes, you're right, but I would also argue sometimes we do see them start, we just don't pay attention to them. We see them on their grind, we see them do their thing, but we dismiss it. But
Yeah.
it's not until you like, man, my man been doing that for a minute, and you start seeing the results that you give value to it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think you make an excellent point for our listeners. It's all about what you saw. And I really like that 1%. I've never heard that. And I think that's a really great statement because I'm looking at, I can do 1%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what do you say to people who are recovering from injury? What about that piece?
People who are recovering from injury, take it one day at a time and find out the things that you can do depending on what body part it is. So if you messed up your shoulder, your legs still work.
Mm-hmm.
So if you messed up your legs, your upper body still works. There are things, YouTube University is undefeated. So YouTube, for whatever problem you have, somebody has had the same problem and overcame it. And they probably put it on YouTube.
You said YouTube University is undefeated. You out here dropping jewels early in the morning, Marcus. Wow.
Yeah, YouTube University.
So talk about for the athletes who are out here who are in between. I mean, everyone's been watching, The Last Dance. And, of course, you hear the history of Michael Jordan being cut from his team. What kind of opportunity is there for a lot of these young people who may have ended the season abruptly as, a player not on people's radar, but now they have an opportunity to come back and make something happen? What could skill development and working out right now do to help somebody?
Oh, my goodness. That's the most important thing right now. This is the time that you can separate yourself because there's people who have talent and they don't necessarily work hard consistently. Like Kevin Durant said, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So if you develop a routine and a solid work ethic and you work daily on a skill set, it may be ball handling, it may be shooting, it may be form shooting in your bedroom and like just visualizing what you're trying to do, but doing it repeatedly every day. This is the time for separation because there's going to be kids who come back out of shape. They're going to be gained 20, 30 pounds because they've been sitting playing the video game every single day, eating potato chips, and you've been out working. So if you work 2 hours a day for 5 days a week, that's 10 hours a week compared to a kid who did 1 to 2 hours over the course of months. That's hours.
You make an excellent point because you're going to have people that when the shutdown happened, they may have been here with their game and they stayed there. They kind of plateaued. So you talked about the kid that can work on making improvement because he's going to work now. But what about the kid that may dig himself into a hole? What about the kid that may fall back and not have the motivation and try to live off of, the last game as opposed to being ready for the next? And now they got to deal with, oh my God, Johnny, you gained all this weight. Oh my God, Julie, what's going on? And having to get over not just the mental part, but the physical part of really getting themselves back in shape.
So that's the adversity that we're going through right now. So it's a part of life. And if you want to achieve something, you're not going to achieve it easily. Okay. Anything worth having is worth working for. So if you want to get back to being a big dog or wherever you were before, or even better, you have to start. And it's okay that you messed up. It's life, but you have to get back on the grindstone and get back to putting in that work so you can maximize your full potential.
You're right, man. I really appreciate what you're sharing. And unfortunately, COVID-19 has affected our world in such a way. The loss of life has been, nothing like we probably ever will experience again. But I always have to say that even with that, there are so many other opportunities, this cleansing of mind, body, and soul, if you will. So people like you who are inspiring our young people can really take advantage, because I think there's going to be some great stories that come out of this when Johnny comes back. And whether Johnny had a growth spurt on top of a new work ethic and working out and looking like, a great player and athlete, I think there's going to be some great opportunity. So talk a little bit more about what your virtual clinic looks like, how people can connect with you to take advantage of that, cost, because I think it's a very low bar of entry to be able to participate. And let's talk about that a little bit.
So with the virtual basketball clinic, it's an hour of skill work. So we do 30 minutes of ball handling, 30 minutes of strength and conditioning. It's all body weight exercises, core exercises, all stuff that you can do at home. But the cost, it's $50. So anybody who watches it here, I'll put a discount code, 25 off. You'll get the camp for $50. So it's 12 sessions. We go 3 days a week throughout the month of May. So we started May 4th. We're going Monday, Wednesday, Friday through May 29th. So that's just under $5. I think it's like $4.10 a session. You won't get anything like that anywhere else, at least at this volume and with the knowledge base that I have. It's worth so much more, but I wanted to be able to give back. And I know this is a tough time for people financially. So I just wanted to be able to pour myself into these kids just to give them just for their minds more so than anything else. So they won't sit in the house and just go crazy. So.
Right. So I know also the virtual part, I know sometimes people can't really see everyone, but I would imagine that you have your Sault Ste. Marie family involved, because you have a number of young people you impact in northern Michigan across the bridge. I always love to come visit you up there. Then you have the Metro Detroit community. So you probably have a large group of people who are taking advantage of this right now, right?
Yeah, I have kids all the way from Canada. I have kids from Columbus, Ohio. They were popping up out of the woodworks. So
that's awesome, man.
It's amazing to see.
That's awesome. Well, Marcus, I want to appreciate you for taking the time. This is going to be great. I think your message is very important during these times, to stay physically fit and work on your game. And, man, there's so many things I'm going to take away from what you're saying personally, like working on that 1%, so I won't feel so bad when I'm sitting down watching the TV a little bit. I said, Marcus said, all I need is 1%. But I get that. Anything you want to say before we sign off, man, to your family, to your friends, to your supporters?
Oh, man, I just want everybody to stay safe. Hey, the most important thing we can do right now is watch what we eat, because 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So I used to hear a term when I was younger, you are what you eat. So make sure we're putting in the right stuff so we can build that immune system and be stronger than COVID-19.
Oh, brother, that's so great, man. I really appreciate you and all that you do. Look forward to seeing you on the other side once this clears up, and good luck with the camp. And let me know if there's anything I can do with you in the future. As always, I appreciate you.
No problem. Appreciate you, brother.
Take Marcus Davis, Grindhouse basketball skill development. You better take advantage of him now before he get too costly for you guys. All right, man. Take care and thank you.
All right.
All right. I just ended the recording.